Welcome back here to the newsroom. I'm really excited to be welcoming Eric Buck from Google. He is the Director of Commercial Partners and Global Distribution. And that's a heck of a title, first off. I mean, did you come up with that?
No, I didn't.
Because Google, I'm used to having this, really all these wild titles, but that is like an official technical title.
Yeah, it's involved.
It is. You were sharing with me kind of backstage. You've been there about 18 months, was that right?
Yeah.
How did you come to Google?
Well, I've done distribution at Challenger brands, and so Google was like, hey, we need to set this thing up. They called me up and said, what do you think about starting distribution at Google? And for me, you know, that was interesting because I was doing some different things and I was having fun with what I was doing, but you never get the chance to work for a company like this and do a startup within it. There was just no way saying no. It's too exciting. That
is cool. I can just hear the excitement and the passion behind that, because it is that startup mode. Well, let me get to some good questions in terms of digging into why we're here today. First time at Cloud Summit then, I guess?
Yeah, this is the first one, yeah.
It's the first we've done live in 2.5 years.
I know, how crazy is that?
So let's go cloud. Cloud capability is obviously important to customers as they look to accelerate their digital transformation journey. And what do you think, what capabilities are most important when we talk about that?
Yeah, I think digital transformation is so interesting because it's also a bit ambiguous for companies, and they step into it thinking, oh, right, I'll use the cloud to do some cost optimization or maybe some disaster recovery, and then they find they're replicating costs by having cloud and on-prem. So then some of them immediately make the shift, some of them try to wait until they're ready to change out hardware to do the shift, but most of them ultimately end up making the shift. But then they get out of this mindset of cost optimization and they evolve into the thinking around value creation. And then when they really get a digital transformation model, you're thinking about how does this affect the business, right? So classically in IT, we would set up, hey, I've got the best widgets, buy my widgets and put them in your closet, but only use mine. Now we're solving business problems where the business people don't care what the widget is, they just want it to solve their problem, right? So digital transformation is about how do we engage and get into that fabric and include all that, and Google's got a great story around it.
That is, and have you seen much of that here? So far, I mean, in terms of people coming together to try to solve that?
Well, that's one of the best things that you get with an Ingram Micro, because Ingram has all these relationships and they bring all their partners together. You've got this aggregation of knowledge and challenges that people are dealing with, vendors are solving, or we're learning about them firsthand, and we're all coming back together. And so Google, one of our values is about the user experience, really valuing that user experience. And when we think about our business being open and allowing people to be able to do different things, that brings these solutions together with people and technology to try and create best-in-class offerings.
It sure does, and you mentioned being here and the partnership opportunities. If someone isn't here, and there's an opportunity to partner and to meet with someone like yourself and expand their business, including Google services, what would you tell them about you can't miss it next time?
Well, yeah, so for starters, being back to live events, I mean, oh my gosh. I am so happy right, this is awesome.
Thank you.
So that should be enough motivation in and of itself to get on the plane. And I think, by the way, how many people showed up? Clearly they feel that way, right?
Record attendance.
It's incredible. That said, if they didn't make it, they're still unsure, or they just couldn't fit it in, you know, these videos and whatnot are out there. Use them, take them, and reach out to our team at Ingram Micro and get engaged, and we'll see you at the next event, or we'll get you up and running before the next event.
So well said. Well, let's jump to cybersecurity for a moment. It's top of mind for organizations of every imaginable size. Why are customers reevaluating their security posture?
Well, you know, security has become so important to how businesses are run. And companies used to approach it from a building perspective and a perimeter perspective, right? You get in through our VPN or you get in through our facility. Well, the way Google approaches it is from a user or a device perspective, so that you can be anywhere and collaborate with people and still be protected. And what's great about how we do things is we're protecting all of our users, whether you're a YouTube TV user, YouTube user, Maps user, I could go on with all the technology.
Oh yeah.
That same security that we use to run that business is what we're using to help our customers deal with their security concerns.
That's incredible. Well then, if a Google Cloud partner has empowered their customers to build these platforms and skills in their organizations, how can they have stronger capabilities using that? I mean, is that?
Yeah, this is important because cloud, it's evolving so quickly and the technology just continues to change so fast. I mean, we used to think about the hardware world where somebody builds something and then they wait years to build another one because of the cost and design and all that. But here we are in the cloud where you can iterate 24 hours a day and you can continue to evolve the solutions based on, and you've got all this crowdsourced information to make better decisions and make a better experience, and we're certainly putting that to use. So as a customer who's never used cloud, I start off and I go, I need somewhere to store things, or I need more compute capacity. And so they reach out and they start leveraging these pieces, these technology stack items. But as they truly start to grow on that journey and they start to get to this, how do I do other things, they have to get backstopped. And so again, we come back to Ingram, who is helping enable their partners. Their partners are on this enablement journey for their customers, so that we're passing in information through this way where we can aggregate and reach, but also we can augment. Ingram's able to bring their partner community together where if you don't have the skills, they can bring a partner that has those skills. Or Ingram can help augment that skill set for you. And so for Google, especially because we're partner-led on all of those services, it's so critical to our business that we can come to an Ingram Micro and the partner community here and really take that best of what we need for each of those customers.
I love it. And I love how you talk about the partner community, because it is absolutely so true, and it's just felt while we're here. Well then, what do you think your customers look for? I would call it an open infrastructure cloud, and what opportunity does open infrastructure really offer the Google Cloud partners?
This is probably bar none the most important piece, and the reason is that I talked about shifting from that technology stack to solving business problems. So when you're driving your car, some people think about everything that's going on in the car because they're experts on it, but most of us just think about how well the car is running because we want that experience to be good, right? Well, that's how the businesses want this to happen. They just want the problem to go away, solve it for me. And if you don't have an open environment, if you're locking people into technology, you're settling in certain places. You're not allowing it to evolve and change. You're sticking them with one brand and one approach. Whereas when it's open, you can allow new solutions to emerge. You can allow that environment to continually evolve. Things like we offer Kubernetes, which allow people to move data between clouds back and forth and workloads. We also have something called Anthos, which is it's what we use to manage a cloud, but guess what? We can manage everybody's cloud in that. So if you're using as an end user, if I need to use, let's say, my competition's cloud in one country or one city because of certain laws and requirements that it fits or certain performance levels it's achieving, and then I want to use another cloud in a different place, Anthos allows me to do all of that seamlessly and not worry about it. So now I'm solving my problems without thinking about, oh wait, I'm using this brand and it can't do that.
Gosh, I mean, there's so much there, so much opportunity in a sense to grow that and build the infrastructure out. And, well, build, you used that word earlier on, you said you like to build. You're building a business within a business, but you also like to build at home. See, we were talking backstage, as I like to call it, which really means sitting here talking before we go live. And who are the video game fans?
Yeah, me too.
Because I'm one.
Yeah.
So you have to share with me a touch about what you've built, and I mean, the original, from scratch. I'd love to hear that story.
Yeah, so the kids,
Check this out.
The kids, of course, have their gaming PCs, and by the way, I made them build those.
Did you?
You want a gaming PC? We're building it.
Put the boards
right?
in,
a
whole bit.
Everything. Let's pick it out. Let's put it together. Let's build it. So they've got water-cooled gaming systems that they built, turned every screw. But I decided, look, you got to have the experience I had, right? We got to go throwback, right? So I cut the wood. I made them come out and cut the wood with me and route it and get it all designed for a big old cabinet. Even though today I could have done a Raspberry Pi, I made it this big. But, we get an old monitor and make it look like it's like one of the LCD screens, you know, from back in the day, or those, you know, and joysticks with LEDs, and just put the whole thing together. Finished off with the coin slots and the Space Invaders logos and everything else, and literally it's loaded with, like, I don't know, something like 5,000 video games. It's obscene. That many. It's obscene. So it might be more.
What's your go-to then? I'll tell you, mine would be go-to is Donkey Kong.
Yeah, well, that's why you just took it. Donkey Kong.
Oh no, seriously?
The one I go to. Yeah. Donkey Kong for me has always been that game as a kid, and for whatever reason, you know, it's funny because these joysticks that are on there, I'll get a little nerded for you.
I feel bad.
Back in the day, you know, joysticks, you know, Donkey Kong, if you didn't jump just right, you'd hit the barrel. It was like there was some kind of like little magic that had to happen with that joystick. It wasn't just about, anyway, they make the joysticks where you can actually have it do that too, right? So it can be like the original throwback. Yeah,
I can get to the second Pi screen, that's about as far, which is about 12 or 13 in, I think, but I don't know what happens after that, so you have to tell me what happens after that.
No, I don't go very far either, no. No, but I'll give you another one. I like Joust. Joust was a fun one. That was one of those.
That was the bird.
Trying to fly up and hit them.
And people are like, what are we talking? No, we're talking about flat work.
Oh, we went way off.
But it's okay, because this event, it's about people and it's about relationships. And why I think that's so important, the authentic nature of Eric, is now when you're in a networking session, you can come talk to him about Joust. But it's an entry point, correct? Because
for sure.
We're here to enjoy and 100%. Learn about people.
Yeah, I think that's where it all starts. We're all people. We got great stories, hopefully, and we should spend time telling those stories and getting to know each other.
I call it the lost art of the human connection, but it is back and it's here at Cloud. Anything else that we can share for you, Eric, about Google, about your partnership? I know you're a great sponsor of this event. We'd love to hear some closing comments.
We've got a great breakout session later that talks a little bit about that enablement piece and how we monitor the ramp of a customer to make sure they're hitting certain milestones that we see as successful engagements for customers, so that the partner doesn't have to worry about their customer's experience. We have indicators that tell us. And so I would certainly sit through that session. There's a lot of other things we'll cover in that session as well that I think are critical, but just engage us. We don't have a broad channel like some of the folks, so we're pretty narrow today. And I think that's why it's important that you spend time with us so we can tell the story.
And what time is your breakout session, if you know offhand? I don't personally.
It's tomorrow afternoon
okay.
at, I think, 3.
Tomorrow afternoon at 3, so make sure you all check that out. And Eric, thankful that we could share the stage a little bit, talk some video games. Thankful that Google is a sponsor and that you're building an incredible business within a business and you just have that genuine passion about it. So thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
And we'll see you guys at the next session. Have a good
care.
day.